This is day 4 of Yogtober. So let's just start on our knees and just stick out your left leg. So we're just going to stick out the leg and the foot can point towards the front. So we'll just start off with a little reach, gentle reach down the leg, and the arm comes over by the ear. Just slightly gaze upwards. Just check the alignment of the shoulders, get them lined up, one directly on top of the other. And do some good breathing here. It's the gate pose. And then just let your hand drop, and the other hand just reaches up vertically or all the way over. So get that lovely side stretch, and just shift forwards with the hips, and maybe open out all the way back, and let the arm come out a little bit more to the right. Sorry, left. There we go. And then the other side, your right leg, foot pointing to the front, and slide the hand down the knee, down towards the ankle. And the arm goes over by the ear. Just look up to the sky. Breathe in here. Check the alignment of the shoulders. And drop the hand all the way down under the shoulder, and then reaching over by the ear in a nice line so the leg and the arm are lined up. And then if you want to, you can push forwards with the hips and slightly open out and look up. Nice big breaths. Good. And then just come to the knees. Again, we'll do a head roll. Drop the chin down to the chest. Just move, big circle. All the way. Change direction. Nice and slow. Good, and then we're just going to do a puppy. So the puppy pose is your thigh bones stay vertical, hips and knees in line. Just walk your hands all the way forward to let your chest just drop. So there's a big steep incline of the lower back. I drop my chin, but it's okay to drop your forehead. Just be careful with your neck. And just let your chest melt forwards. It's great for the shoulders, this one. Breathe there a couple of times. And press into the hands. And just pad back, pad back, pad back. And now we're just going to do the one for your shoulder, another one for your shoulders. We open wide with your left arm up. Spin that chest open. Everything else stays the same, just let the upper body move and thread the needle. So you let this left hand knuckles to the floor, slide along and drop ear to the shoulder, ear and shoulder to the ground. That's it. It's maybe a bit too late to actually speak today. My words aren't coming out too well. So it is late tonight, but it's better to do it than not do it. So if I'm speaking gobbledygook, it's worth it. It's better to do it. So I'll just try and say minimum. So just keep going like this, spinning this arm up and then threading through. So just gently land on your ear and shoulder. One last one. And then thread through, and we'll stay down this time. So you just land on your shoulder, no weight in your head, it's all on the shoulder. Ear grazing the floor, and this hand can just come down to the base of the spine, or it can come all the way over by the ear to the ground upon the fingertips, maybe just so you can gently nudge your right shoulder up into the air a bit more. Or what I prefer, hand on hand, knit the fingers together, and then you can sort of just align your shoulder. So you just do a little bit of movement to shunt, top shoulder back, bottom shoulder under. Just breathe there in this little twist. Press into the ground to come up nice and slow again, and we'll do the other side. So you spin open with the right arm and thread, knuckles slide, landing gently with the ear and the shoulder. Using the breath if you can, so you exhale to the ground. Inhale up. That's it. And just stay up for a moment, but pause, trying to get as far back with your shoulder as you can. And then this time we're going to stay down. So gently landing on the shoulder, take the hand to the base of the spine or the ground over by the ear. Using the floor to push into to get the shoulder a little bit more lined up. And then my preferred one is to knit the fingers together and just slide your sort of top shoulder back, bottom shoulder slightly under. So push into that top hand, knit the fingers together, and that should feel really good in the upper back. Breathe. This really does feel like it's creating some space in the back, that one. Just push into the ground to come back up and do a couple of cat-cows. So we just dip and arch. Inhale and exhale. Nice one. And then we're just going to actually come to standing by going into the dog first. So we do downward dog. Have a little pedal out if you want to enjoy that dog. It feels really good. Let your head dangle. Maybe 2 up, 2 down. Heels lift and lower. That's it. And then we're just going to walk your hands back. Do a dangle. And then roll all the way up. Alright, and then just stand sideways on your mat. And just slightly angle the feet and the toes to pointing outwards. Bring your hands into the centre and lower. So we're just going to do some gentle squats, like wide sumo squats. Exhaling down, inhaling up. Challenge yourself to go quite low into the hips. Remember the breath, nice and slow. That's it, maybe 2 more. 1 and 2. And then we're just going to stay down and just lift one heel and the other heel. So just lift one. And that just gets the calf squeezing a little bit. Calf going, and maybe 2 together and down. Try and control it, and let's see if we can stay up nice and high on the balls of the feet, imagining you've got stilettos on. Hold, sink down a little deeper into the squat. Deep breath. And then just drop back down. So straighten just for a moment, fold in the middle, and just let your arms dangle wherever they dangle in the middle. And then just let yourself fall heavy, maybe sway a little bit, and just work your way to your lowest point where you can feel that's enough for you. Just let the blood rush to the head. Come to halfway and just let your left hand be under the face and the right hand spins up into the air. If it feels okay, you can wrap the arm right the way around to catch hold of the upper thigh. So you can just use that to pull yourself a little further around, rotating the chest upwards a little bit more. Breathe. These twists are really, really good for your insides. Especially if you breathe. Other side, let's reach up first, nice high stretch, feeling it in the inner thighs, and then wrap the arm around to catch hold of the inner thigh and just pull yourself round. Brilliant, and then just come all the way to the middle and let your feet flip out like a frog, so they're going wide out to the sides. I'm just going to walk forwards and land on the inner knee, nice and wide. You can even go a little bit wider if it feels comfortable. Drop to the forearms and just gently push yourself back into the hip joint. So just keep their gaze forward or just beyond the hands and just breathe. And if it feels too uncomfortable, come out of it, of course, but just work with what you've got. So this is the frog. So you've got your feet, so you can see my feet are flipping out to the sides, and everyone's got a different level with this one as to how deep they like to go. And it may be that you've got loads of flexibility here in the hips, or it may be that they're really tight, but just whatever you do, just gently push back, keep a nice straight spine, and use the breath to get through it. Because it is painful, that one, it can be. Okay, and then push back, and then out of it the way we came in. Just stretch out your back like a downward dog, and we sort of basically a really wide downward dog. One more breath here. And then just pad the hands back. Bend the knees again into that sumo squat sort of stance. And what we're going to do is the shoulder twist, which I really like this one. So you just line up the shoulders. So you're just looking over the shoulder. One arm is straight, one arm is bent, and then you spin. So everything else stays the same. It's just your shoulders that are moving. Hands, thumbs on the inside, fingers on the outsides of the knees. Keep low, and we're just spin that upper back. Looking over one shoulder, then the other. Use the breath. Exhale. Inhale. So ideally, face on, you should look like you've got one shoulder directly on top of the other, lined up. So I don't know about me, I'll have to see afterwards. But if you just try and just line up the shoulders, so you're spinning right round. It might not happen. Depends how tight your shoulders are. But this one, to me, just feels like heaven in the upper back. Probably one of my favourites. Okay, just pull yourself back up. Hands just behind your head, and we're just going to do another one of my favourites for yogging at the moment. We're just going to sort of tap one. You don't need to tap. You can actually just go in that direction, but staying low. Move elbow to knee. Come up, elbow to knee. Using the breath, inhale, exhale. So that just slows it down. That's it. So just keep going. Now this one can be quite challenging. That's it. More each side, and then we centre it. Just bring your hands down, slowly straighten, feet to the front, fold in half again, and just hold on to the ankles this time and gently pull yourself in. Breathe, maybe just breathe. I'm going to actually walk my hands over to the right leg and just pull my whole body into the right. And then change sides, pull yourself to your left. Then we just come all the way back up. Good. And we'll just come down to the ground. I'll just do a few ones that are on the floor. So if we just lie back, feet planted, dig the elbows in, and wriggle the shoulder blades away from the ears, and just press your hips up into the air, gazing up. So you're in this little bridge, just imagining threads on each hip bone rising higher and higher. Squeeze the glutes and just hold it there. Nice deep breaths here. Keep going. We're trying to get the whole spine right up to the nape of the neck off. And then slowly back down and just pull in with the knees. So when you're doing this, just a slight rock, massages the lower back in the Apanasana wind relieving pose. Just keep gazing up to the ceiling. And then just find the edges of your feet. Bend the knees so they come down to each side of the body, and just look up again. So you're pulling quite strongly on the side of your feet like this, and then just kick out one way and play with it. So it's the happy baby. So rock and roll around a little bit. So stretch one way, one leg swings out there, and the other one swings out. So a little play with the happy baby. This is another great one. Really gets your glutes and your hamstrings. Okay, and then we're just going to let your feet drop to the ground. Hands can come out to be a cactus shape, so elbows level with your shoulders, and then just let your knees sway to the right. Come back up. Let the knees drop to the left. Oops, run out of space. So this time come up to the centre and just like lift your hips slightly, just to get a bit of your right hip underneath, off more to the centre, and then you're going to get a better twist. So take both knees over. What I'm going to do is slide this top knee down to the ground and just gently rest this arm on it to get that stretch. So keep the shoulder blades down to the ground, look in the opposite direction, and then just breathe here. So reclined spinal twist. Really feeling that around the shoulders and waist. And just gently back up, feet to the floor. Lift up the hips, just get the left hip in the centre a bit more. Knees drop together. Slide off the top knee, rest the left hand on the top knee, and then just look in the opposite direction. Just get that lovely twist. So your shoulders should be down. Nice deep breaths in the twist. And just come all the way up to the centre. And just pull the knees in, your head lifts up off the ground, and then release. Exhale, down to the ground, let your feet go. Palms face up. Shoulders away from the ears, and just do a little body scan, scanning for any tension. Sort of start off at the toes, work up to the top of the head as you breathe. All of that good work, lock in, and we're ready for tomorrow. Okay, just come all the way up to sitting. Namaste.